Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a suburban high school film that follows a group of upper middle-class white students as they experiment with sex, romance, drugs, and other everyday obstacles of a teenager. This film follows the guidelines of a dominant narrative in almost all aspects.
In Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the students are independent and their families are hardly ever shown. Stacy is able to invite guys over to her house because her parents are on vacation for almost the entire duration of the film. Authority figures are portrayed as antagonists, and the students reject or resent them. For example, Mr. Hand, the history teacher, is characterized as a villain, and the protagonist, Spicoli, rejects his authority by showing up to class late, high, and with the munchies.
Academics in Fast Times at Ridgemont High are completely irrelevant. Grades, studying, and schoolwork are not mentioned or seen at all in the film. The focus for these suburban students is social success through romance, drugs, or popularity. For example, one character, Jeff Spicoli, seeks to barely pass each class. Spicoli orders pizza during one of his classic scenes with his teacher, Mr. Hand.
Wait around and, Who is it?
Mr. Pizza Guy.
Again?
Mr. Pizza Guy, sir. Order the double cheese and sausage.
Right here, dude.
The movie displays sex and drug use as normal activities for students to partake in. In fact, weed and sexual curiosity are two of the main themes that consistently appear in the film. For example, Jeff Spicoli is shown as a typical slacker student who is normally stoned. In one of the beginning scenes, he steps out of his car that he hotboxed just before school, showing that it is not just accepted to use drugs, but a social norm. Stacy, another main character, is a 15-year-old high school student who is becoming very interested in sex. She continually goes to her friend, Linda, for advice about sex. They talk about it normally, not as if it were unacceptable, portraying sexual activity as a social norm as well.
But you think they'd be better in bed?
What do you mean better in bed? Either do it or you don't.
No. They're like variables that I might not be good at.
Like what variables?
Like, you know, giving blowjobs.
What's the big deal?
I never did it.
You've never given a blowjob? Never? Stace, there's nothing to it. It's so easy.
Check it out.
Here. Relax your throat muscles. Don't bite.
This movie is consistent in showing expressive individualism, which values nonconformity and rejects competitive individualism and social pressure to succeed. These students are just trying to find their place in high school.